Alright, hello there, Minecraft and Infitech fans. This is To You Fear the Night. Today we're going to talk about the clean room, and oh boy, this one's a doozy. All I can say is the guys at Greg Tech really stuffed this one up. This thing sucks. Let's just jump into it, dive into it, do the no-nonsense guy on it, and we'll see what happens. So, you're going to need a tricorder before you do this. Go get the tricorder. Go build it. Trust me on this. We'll get into that in a moment here. The clean room. It's basically multi-block built out of plastic block. The controller is the clean room controller. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it here. I'm not going to tell you how to build it because I think you monkeys can figure this out just by looking at the NEI. The NEI tells you what to build with the plasticrete, with that, and with the that you're gonna need. And hey, guys, don't fight over there. Sorry, I got cats. Clean room controller. Clean room controller. Now it says minimum 3x4x3 hollow. Now, if you go to the book, you're gonna read some. I'm gonna read this to you because you got to see this to believe it. Okay, Cleanroom uses the plasticrete block for all blocks around the outside that are not control block, hatches, or a door. Simple enough. A 3x3x3. Wrong. It's 3x4x3. Ignore the book. It's wrong. Hopefully it's fixed at some point in the future. So, Infitech to you guys. Listen up on this one because there's more problems here. A design that does not require air vents up top. Okay, so if you make it... Now, one thing they don't mention is it has to be square on top. But looking down on it from the top, it needs to be square. That means 3x3, 5x5 from the top. You can't make it 4x4 from the top, or you're going to have a problem. It can be as tall, it can be long and skinny, tall and skinny, I should say, but it can't be oddly shaped. If you're looking down on it from the top, it has to be square. So they don't mention that, they should. The air vents, now, if you build it 3x3, yeah, you only need to have the controller in the middle. Otherwise, you need to surround that thing with air vents, and then plasticrete has to go on the edges. Big thanks to Bear's Den. I don't know this guy, but I don't know any of the people I'm going to mention in this, but they've been helpful on the web. Just looking around and Googling on how to do this. Just Google Greg Tech 5 Clean Room. There's a gentleman, DDE Jong 42. DDEJONG42 on Reddit, wrote up a really wonderful thing that explains quite a bit of things about this. So you can make the thing taller and such as you need to. He explains a whole lot of stuff in here, especially about how it needs to be square on top, things like that. Bear's Den does a tutorial, so you can go look at that. And there's a man named, I'm assuming it's a man, named Mark Ethier, who is one of the top-rated comments on there, who talks about how to input items into this thing without having to open the door. And I'll get into that here in a moment, too. So, you're going to need to put power in. So, just take it's going to take a maintenance hatch and an LV energy hatch. Now, the LV energy hatch just runs this stupid fan on top. Now, it takes 40 U/T when you hit it with the hammer to start it. And then it only takes 4 U/T to maintain it. So it's like it takes an extra kick to get the fan started and then just keeping it running. Real air conditioners work like that. They're trying to get that in there. Now, if you're going to use a low voltage, which is what I'm doing, remember, these things can take 2 amps, so you're going to need a battery box with at least 2 batteries in it to get those 2 amps. Otherwise, it's not going to start up for you. So you're going to have to do that. So you're going to have to do maintenance on the thing once it's completed, and that includes the door. Opening the door, well, you want to set it up in a way that you don't want to have to open the door because then you're going to have problems. So, I've got an advanced gas turbine on the back to power this guy here. Now, how am I getting power and stuff into it? There is the million-dollar question. So, you cannot use the normal. You don't want to put another energy hatch in there because the energy hatch has to run that. So, you have to use you have to pass the power through a machine hall. Which I can understand this part. You need a machine hall to send the power through. You point the red dot toward the machine and then put power on any of the interfaces and then it'll get in there. So now, keep in mind, it's got to match the machine in there. If it's 512 EU/T, you better make sure it's that big or you're going to blow it up. So if you put a better laser engraver in there, don't forget to replace your machine hull unless you like explosions. So just keep that in mind. So that's pretty simple. Now let's say you want to get items in and out of the thing. Well, guess what? Item bus, right? No. You would think they would use the item bus. We're familiar with them. We use them in the other machines. But for some reason, you have to put a bloody machine hull. And you're probably wondering, how am I going to get items in and out of a machine hull? Well, if you look at this, see where it says at the bottom below voltage out, it says capacity, 2112. That must be referring to Rush's album, but anyway, or a song by Rush, but anyway, 2112. I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence. But anyway, that's the capacity. I think it can only hold one of those items, but it can hold a whole lot of them. And as they see the bigger ones, you don't need to make the bigger ones. Use the LV ones. Yeah, I guess you could use ULV if you really want to be funny. You really want to be stingy, but why? Just use the LV ones. So, you're probably wondering, how do I get the items in and out? Well, if you put the belts, the little, the little conveyor belts on this thing itself, so that's what I try to do. I put one in there, import, and then I put one on the machine for its import as well. I put one on the thing as export on one side, import on the other. It doesn't work. So, and this is where Mark's comments on Bear's Den's video came in to save the day. You need to put pipes in. So I got a pipe going in here. And I've got this thing on it and then a chest. So anything I put in that chest gets sucked into the pipe, which then slams it into this thing, and it sits inside that thing. And you can, if something gets stuck in there, all you got to do is take the thing out and you'll get it back. But you have to take it'll count as disassembling part of your clean room. You don't have to do the maintenance again, but you're going to lose all the efficiency inside. We'll get to that in a moment. Now this thing here, if you kind of see me hopping around here, I don't know if it's going to show up on the video, but there is an item pipe underneath this guy. So I have another item pipe in here with the belt against the with the belts on the pipe. It has to be on the pipe. It can't be on the machine hull. And yes, it's an actual machine hull. There's no bus or anything. I don't know why they did this to us, but this is what they did to us. Whatever. So there you are. And you're gonna need this reinforced door you have to build. It's easy enough to build. You need a switch. You need a lever to open and close this stupid thing. So pretty simple. There you can see my build in there. I don't want to keep it open for too long because, as you can see, well, there's no. Oh, efficiency says 100%. That's what you're going to need this thing for, to know what the efficiency is. And anyway, trying to go as quickly as I can. Getting items back out. The machine is pointed directly into a machine hull, and it will dump into this tube, and this will put it into the chest. So basically, this guy here pulls it into a tube, sticks it in the hull. I have a belt on a pipe, on a brass item pipe that will pull out of the hull. It's an import mode. It'll suck it up and throw it into the machine. The machine spits it into the machine hull directly, and then this thing here imports it into this pipe and then dumps it in the chest. And yes, that's what you have to go through. How stupid is that? And alright, let me go back to the quest book here, because then I'm going to show you something else here. See where it says, they're talking about air vents. So if you want to make a bigger one, let's say you want to make a 5x5, you're going to need these air vents, right? And here it is. It says anything bigger. It says it doesn't a 3x3 by I think I mean 3x3 on the top. Does not require air vents up top. However, anything bigger does. So if that design vents surround the controller, then Plasticrete surrounds the vents. What? This sentence is crap. This doesn't make sense, and they should be ashamed of themselves for this. It's a bug, guys. Just fix it. To get power on the inside for your machine, use machine hulls. And also to get items in and out, too. You get the energy hatch, you got to do all the maintenance, blah, blah, blah. And this thing will clunk down over time, and you have to do more work on it. That's why I suggest you put at least, you got to put a couple amps on there anyway. Alright, so, what are we going to do here? We've got this thing running. Once you close the door and get it running, now, that guy on Reddit, I already said his name earlier, I'm not going to look it back up, says that when you turn this on, you get 5% efficiency every 5. You get 1% efficiency every 5 seconds. That means it takes like 8.5 minutes for this stupid thing to get to 100% efficiency. The percent efficiency, as you see here, is actually the chance that what you're doing is going to work. So if it's at 90%, there's a 90% chance it'll work, and there's a 10% chance that this wafer you're going to put in is going to vanish like a fart in the wind. So that's what's going to happen. Yikes. I'm going to go ahead and dump it in here, and we're going to see how it goes. So keep the door closed. When you open the door, it'll lose that 1% every 5 seconds, so you'll have to wait for it to go back up. Actually, that may not be 8.5 minutes. It's long enough, though. It's long enough for you to want to kill yourself. So it actually may be like 3 minutes. But it's still long enough that you're going to want to... Yeah, you see it got in there. It's doing its thing. It's zipping around. It's lazing. It's having fun. I don't see any reason at this point to ever build a bigger one. If you want to knock yourself out, but I'm not going to. Oh, yes. The air vents. Let's see. Air vent. Wait a minute. What? Design vent? Which is what they also called it? No. It is not that. It is a filter machine hull. Or filter machine casing. I'm sorry. Filter machine casing. Why they don't say that, just say that straight out instead of with that crude sentence that they put in there, I don't know why. But you'll need these to surround the other thing if you need to, the center, if you're going to make it bigger. I don't at this point recommend it because why? Okay, hey, look at that. I have central processing units. Finally. It only took forever, but I got there. I'm just going to cut these bad boys up and I'll have a bunch of CPUs. Now, apparently, if I turn this off, the efficiency is going to drop very quickly. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. Look at that. I'm going to turn it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yeah. So yeah, it takes a few minutes to get it up to speed. Let's see. I'm going to do a calc. So 1%, 5 seconds, that's 500 seconds divided by 60, that's 8.3 minutes. Yeah, okay, I was right. It's 8.3 minutes to get this thing up if you want to actually use it. What a jip, man. I think they need to make that a little bit slower. And that's with the small one. I don't know what the bigger one takes longer or not. But I really think they should lower that. And here's the other thing. I shouldn't have to use this stupid portable scanner to do this. This is ridiculous. Why doesn't it just display it on here what the efficiency is, and so I can just look? Okay, it's like they just want to punish us. So this thing's got to sit here. It's got to run. It's going to need maintenance. It's going to be constantly breaking down. Wow. The other option I have is to shut it down and then wait and then when I want to make a CPU, I got to go do something for 8 minutes while I wait for it to come back up to full efficiency, which frankly is just sad. I don't know what to tell these guys other than, yeah, very stupid. Pollution and chunk. Yeah, this thing over here is kind of slowly polluting that chunk over there too. Yeah, that's no fair. 660 gibbles. I guess over time it might go down. I don't know. I don't know if it hits a maximum or if it's just going to keep polluting until I like choke to death. Eventually I'll get a cleaner power supply for it or something. I don't know. You know what? Rather than have this thing just suck it down, I'm just going to shut it down and I'll just suck it up and wait the 8 minutes. But you guys have seen what I've had to do. I can open the stupid door now. And you'll want to put one in there. Diamond lens. Make sure you have a diamond lens in there. Don't forget that or you'll regret it. I'm going to shut it down. That way we're not wasting energy. And that's the guy. So hopefully this answers a lot of questions. I hope it's all in one place here, and hopefully this wasn't too long. I know it's a 15-minute, but it was what it is. This one's a hot mess. So that's what we got here, folks. All right, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.